welcome to the astrology forecast for week 39. Before we get into this week's forecast, I wanted to show you an image of the solar activity from this week just past. If you recall from the last video, I explained that the Sun and Neptune were facing off on September 19, causing us to be in for a wild midweek ride. According to the NOAA, activity began to wane shortly after this G3 rated geomagnetic storm, but flaring intensity on the Sun has picked up with an M4 flare. Plus, the sunspot's magnetic complexity has grown to beta delta, which means it will likely continue to produce these M flares, and could even hold the potential for an X flare.
No, not while my greatest nemesis still provides our customers with free light, heat, and energy.
On September 23rd, the Sun shifts into the cardinal air sign of Libra, marking the new beginning of a new astrological season. The equinoxes, not to be confused with the esquilax,
the legendary Esquilax,
are significant events that occur twice a year, marking the moments when the plane of the Earth's equator passes through the center of the Sun's disk. These events result in nearly equal lengths of day and night, symbolizing a balance between light and darkness. Ancient cultures across the world held various traditions and rituals to celebrate the equinoxes, and usually revolved around themes of balance, renewal, and the changing of the seasons. For example, in ancient Egypt, the equinox was a crucial event for Egyptian agriculture. It marked the beginning of the planting season, the flooding of the Nile, and festivals were held to honor the goddess Isis, who symbolized growth and fertility. The Mayans built impressive architectural structures that were aligned with the equinoxes. The El Castillo Pyramid in Mexico is renowned for its serpent of light phenomenon during the equinoxes, when the shadow creates the illusion of a snake descending the steps. And the equinox was celebrated as Ostara in the Celtic traditions. They observed this time with bonfires and feasts, rituals to welcome the growing light and resurgence of life in nature. In the southern hemisphere, we had the Inca civilization in South America, where the Incas held ceremonies during the equinox to honor Inti, the sun god, again acknowledging the changing of the seasons and importance of agricultural cycles for their society. Indigenous cultures in Australia celebrated the changing seasons with ceremonies and dance, in particular dream time, storytelling, and Polynesian cultures use the stars and celestial events, including equinoxes, for navigation and timing of important activities like fishing and planting. So the Virgo to Libra transition helps us shift from an individual focus of self-improvement and service to the consideration of how we relate to others and maintain harmony in our social interactions. It's an incredible time for building connections and relating to others, although you may find yourself minimizing your own needs, and as a result, it'll be important to prioritize balance this month so that you don't end up overly relying on others to keep you satisfied. That being said, we'll get a reminder by the end of the week if we've gone too far in one direction, and I'll have a guided affirmation to help you with that. So just some basic general guidance in this period is to look at your decision making. Libra's energy encourages careful decision making, where we take the time to weigh the pros and cons before making important life choices. And consulting with others and gathering different perspectives can help you make well-informed choices. And the second thing is around self-care. Just remember that self-care is essential for maintaining inner balance. Try and take time for some relaxation and meditation in this crazy world. Balance your own needs with the needs of others, but begin by taking care of yourself first.
Your ideas are intriguing to me, and I wish to subscribe to your newsletter.
We conclude this month with a sense of individuality, which is highlighted by the full moon in Aries on September 29. Whenever the moon graces this cardinal fire sign, a strong urge for personal autonomy arises. This full moon redirects your focus from the relationships you've been emphasizing and steers you towards your own talents and pursuits. It's an opportune time to reacquaint yourself with your own essence, especially if external opinions this week have dominated your thoughts. The area of your birth chart governed by Aries gains prominence during this time, with the North Node currently residing in this sign. Embracing the assertive energy ruled by Mars should come naturally and facilitate this shift of attention. The full moon in Aries is a dynamic and energizing astrological event that carries the culmination of intentions set during the previous new moon in Aries about 6 months earlier. Back then we had a unique aspect where we had 2 Aries new moons, and that was in March and April, where the second was a solar eclipse. And as with all full moons, the phase marks a peak in the lunar cycle when the moon is directly opposite the sun, creating a sense of tension between the energies of these 2 luminaries. So under this full moon, what do we do with this heightened sense of self-awareness and individuality? It's a time to assess how far we've come since that new moon in Aries, and if we can, celebrate our achievements. It's time to take stock of our personal journey and look at areas where we've taken any courageous steps forward. Aries boldness can inspire us to take care of ourselves with renewed determination. So consider engaging those activities that empower you, whether it's trying something new or pursuing a new passion. And finally, Aries fiery nature can also lead to a certain amount of impatience or lead us to take impulsive actions. So under this full moon, if we take time to reflect on any challenges or conflicts that have arisen in the past 6 months, we use the energy of this full moon to release negativity or lingering tensions. Overall, this full moon is inviting us to celebrate our individuality while embracing an aspect of our inner warrior. Be bold when stepping into the next phase of your journey. So to round things out this month, I've put together a quick affirmation to get you through the final days of this week, leading into next weekend. And with any guidance, it's best to listen to when you are not distracted in a quiet place, not operating heavy machinery or, doing brain surgery. I'll give you a few seconds to get ready, and here we go. I stand as a beacon of my own growth and courage under this full moon in Aries. As I reflect on the goals I set 6 months ago, I celebrate the milestones I've achieved with pride. The new moon's light illuminates the dark sky within me, and I release any lingering doubts or hesitations, stepping boldly into the next chapter of my journey. I am empowered to overcome challenge and seize new opportunity with gratitude for my progress and determination. I am the architect of my destiny, guided by the fire of Aries to fearlessly create my own path. As the moon wanes, I embrace the lessons learned and prepare to set intentions anew. I am courageous. I am courageous, resilient, and ready to embark on new adventures with unwavering confidence. So that brings us to the end of week 39. I hope you enjoyed this week's forecast. Like and subscribe. Cheers.